Today is going to be my first book review. I'm so freaking excited. I wanted to start off with a book that was kind of like not intimidating, not for me, just to kind of get my feet wet. But yeah, I used Orcam to get through this book. It took me about 3 weeks to do so. So before I jump into my review portion of my video, I did want to give you a couple of details of the book that I'm going to be featuring today. So the book is called Dive In, and the author is Nadine Vogel, and co-author and someone that helped her is Cindy Brown. And Cindy Brown is the one that's actually disabled. The author of this book, she is the CEO of a nonprofit organization called Springboard Consulting. And basically, she's used to working with really big businesses like Walmart, Target, CVS, things of that nature in regards to helping employers and employees get matched that are people that are differently abled or people with disabilities to be employed, and to make sure that they're successful in their employment. So this book is 121 pages. It's 9 chapters. The text in the book, for me, the words are very small, so I had to use the Orcam. Unfortunately, I couldn't use a magnifier. That's okay. When I had full sight, this would have took me nothing. It took me a day. But with my Orcam, at least I was able to get through it, and it did take me 3 weeks because I also do work. So I hope you guys can see it. So basically, I just love the premise of this book. It's very simple, very succinct, very direct to the point. A lot of statistics, because you have to base a lot of things in regards to like something that's like a help book, self-help book, with statistics. So there's about over 30 million Americans in the United States alone that have some type of disability. And what I really like about this book is that it's not trying to tell employers this is the right thing to do, which obviously it is to hire people with diversity within your workforce and inclusivity. But she frames it as, what can you do to obtain these prized population employees into your organization? And I really like that. I like that she took that perspective, because always, like, for me, I feel like it feels like almost like a charity. Like, okay, we'll let you work here and see how it goes. The way her book is framed, she is, all her research, all the statistics, like she goes into a part where, people with disabilities are extremely loyal. She also includes the senior population as well. Any group that's marginalized, unfortunately, in the workforce. She also explains like the accountability and the need for employers to make sure they have the proper technology and reasonable accommodations. And she blows up like the myth when employers hear reasonable accommodations. They're like, oh my God, we're gonna have to spend so much money to accommodate these workers. And truth to be told, she has anecdotes in here of real life people going into the workforce with a disability that they literally didn't have to spend any money, and the little they did do showed how much they cared for their workforce that were differently abled, and that they gained a extremely loyal employee. Of course, she shared statistics about tardies and absenteeism, and again, her data in fact showed as long as you're there to support and give them the tools they need, those usual like turnaround and things of that nature is very, very low. Because if you look at it, the regular workforce, especially customer service, you bring in, you hire a certain group of people with no different abilities, right? And the turnaround may be really high. You invested so much money in that training alone for that person to leave. So obviously, hopefully employers want to keep people when they hire them. And she just kind of proves her point that as long as you support your employees, regardless if they have a disability or not, they're going to stay. One thing that I really like that she also explained in here was about, empathy, understanding how someone has to deal with health insurance, and making sure that you are very clear to explain and communicate regards to how the health insurance works with that type of disability, or even if you're a caretaker of a child that has a disability. Because even though you yourself may not have a disability, if you care for a child that you have to take care of and you have to leave from work, I think she had about 2 or 3 chapters just dedicated about the importance of being very clear and succinct about your health care and your benefits and how it affects someone with a disability. If they have a dependent that's on Medicare or Medicaid, and unfortunately if you pass away and then your benefits roll over to them, how does it affect them? Do they get off the benefits because with the government because of that influx of income from the past parent? So she brought up a really good point about it's really important to communicate about benefits, especially health benefits, because after work there's a lot of things that people with disabilities have to think about: transportation, spending a lot of time on the phone with doctors and the insurance company, what's covered, what's not covered, the medications. It's sometimes a full-time job, right? And for her just to highlight that and to acknowledge it just felt really, really good. So overall, I definitely recommend this for you guys if you're interested. The way I came across this book, I didn't buy it. My previous employer, they have things called a business resource group, and I was in a business resource group that was focused on individuals with disability and how we can positively impact that community, and how we can also hire more people with disabilities within our company. And this was something that one of the leaders of that BRG gave us. So yeah, I'm really glad that she did. And if you're an HR manager, or if you're in the higher tier, like you deal with benefits, things of that nature, this would, even if you just have a disability, this is a really good quick read. And at the end, there is an appendix of all different resources that either a company or a person that's differently able can use. So on a scale to 1 to 5, I would rate this book a 3.5. I really, really liked it. I just wish, because it is kind of weird that it's focused on being very inclusive and accessibly friendly for employers, but the book unfortunately is very, very small print. So I kind of wish that the print was a little bit bigger and a little bit more accessible, but I'm sure there's an audio book version of this as well. I didn't really dive deep and take a look at that. So yeah, I give it a 3.5. I hope you guys like my first book review, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Love you.